Here's a question for you. What would you do if I told you that Tuesday, regular, boring, nothing special Tuesday, is the most valuable day of your life? You'd probably laugh. You'd scroll past this. You'd think, I'll watch this later when I have time. That's what I would have done. 6 months ago, I would have done exactly that. But I don't have Tuesdays anymore. I don't have later. I have March, maybe April, if I'm lucky. And I'm 34 years old. My name is Joshua Taylor, and today is February 7th, 2026. The doctor says I have months left. Aggressive pancreatic cancer, stage 4. The kind that doesn't negotiate, doesn't care how many quarterly reports you have to file, doesn't give a damn that you're too young for this. And the worst part, the absolute worst part, I knew something was wrong a year ago. Let me take you back. February 2025. Exactly 1 year ago. I was sitting in my office, corner cubicle, not quite a corner office yet, but getting there, and I felt this pain, right here in my abdomen, sharp, insistent, like someone was pressing a hot poker against my insides. I told myself it was stress. I told myself it was the Thai food from lunch. I told myself, you're 33 years old, Joshua. 33-year-olds don't get sick. They get tired. They get hangovers. They don't get whatever this is. So I took 2 Tums and answered 17 more emails. The pain came back the next week, and the week after that. Every Tuesday night, like clockwork. I started calling them my Tuesday episodes. Isn't that insane? I gave my cancer a cute nickname before I even knew it was cancer. My wife, Emma. God, Emma. She noticed. March 15th, 2025. Saturday morning. We were supposed to go to the farmer's market. She loved the farmer's market. She'd buy these expensive artisanal jams we'd never finish, and flowers for the kitchen table, and she'd hold my hand while we walked. She said, Josh, you look gray. We should get you checked out. I said, and I remember this exactly. I can see her face when I said it. I said, babe, I'm fine. I've got the MILF presentation on Monday. I just need to get through this month, and then I'll slow down, promise. You know what she did? She believed me, because I'd been making that same promise for 3 years. Just get through this project. Just get through this quarter. Just get to the promotion. Just. We didn't go to the farmer's market. I worked instead. You think you have time. You don't. Let me tell you about my brother, Daniel. Danny's 2 years younger than me. While I was climbing a corporate ladder at Stratos Financial, he was teaching high school chemistry, making $52,000 a year, living in a modest house in the suburbs, driving a 10-year-old Honda. I used to feel sorry for him. I'd see him at family dinners and think, man, he settled. He could have done more. I made $180,000 last year. I had the nicer car, the better zip code, the LinkedIn profile that made people double tap. Last month, I went to Danny's house. Just wanted to see him. To see what I'd been missing, I guess. It was a Sunday afternoon, January 12th. I remember because it was raining, and his daughter, Lily, she's 7. She was jumping in puddles in the backyard, completely soaked, laughing so hard she was snorting. And Danny was out there with her, also completely soaked, also laughing. His wife, Sarah, was making hot chocolate in the kitchen. Real hot chocolate, the kind you make on the stove, not the packet stuff. And when Lily ran inside, Danny skipped her up, muddy shoes and all, and they danced to some song I didn't recognize, while Sarah pretended to be annoyed but couldn't stop smiling. I sat at their kitchen table, and I realized something that made me want to vomit. Danny won. He won everything. I spent 3 years sacrificing Saturdays for Milford, for Jacobson, for strategic initiatives and synergistic opportunities, and all the other corporate bullshit we pretend matters. I missed Emma's sister's wedding because of a can't-miss conference in Atlanta. I skipped our anniversary dinner, our 5th anniversary, because Henderson needed the Q3 projections by Friday. I told myself, this is what you do. This is how you build a life. But I wasn't building a life. I was building a resume. And the cancer didn't care about my resume. May 2025, the pain got worse. I started losing weight. Emma noticed. Of course she noticed. She notices everything. Josh, please. Just one appointment. Just to rule things out. I said, after the Tokyo trip. After we close the Nakamura deal. I promise, babe. 2 more weeks. You know what's haunting me now? Not the diagnosis. Not the scans. Not even the pain. It's that phrase, 2 more weeks. I gave away 2 more weeks of my life, 2 more weeks of being healthy, of not knowing, of still having a chance, for a deal that Stratos Financial closed without me anyway. Henderson handled it, sent me a great work, team, email, and probably didn't think about me again until I sent him my cancer diagnosis from the hospital. 2 more weeks. I can't get them back. Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. What are you waiting for? No, seriously. What is it? What's your after this? What's your 2 more weeks? Is it the promotion? The bonus? The finish line that keeps moving further away every time you get close? Is it retirement? That magical day when you finally have time to do all the things you're not doing now? Here's what I learned. There is no after this. There's only now. And Tuesday. And Saturday morning. And every single unremarkable, beautiful, irreplaceable moment you're trading for things that don't love you back. September 3rd, 2025. I finally went to the doctor. Not because I wanted to, because I collapsed in the parking lot at work. Just fell. Right there between my Audi and Henderson's Tesla. They rushed me to the ER. Ran tests, even more tests. Anna held my hand in the waiting room. September 8th, a Thursday. I remember thinking, thank God it's not a Monday. I hate getting bad news on Mondays. The doctor came in. Dr. Patricia Okonkwo. I'll never forget her face. She had kind eyes, but they couldn't hide what she had to tell me. Mr. Taylor, I'm sorry. It's pancreatic cancer, very advanced. It's likely been developing for over a year. Over a year. I had a year to catch this. A year when treatment might have mattered. A year when I kept choosing Excel spreadsheets over my own body. Emma squeezed my hand so hard, I thought she'd break my fingers. And she said, her voice so small, I almost didn't hear it. But we can fight it, right? There's treatment. There's something. Dr. Okonkwo looked at me with those kind, terrible eyes and said, we'll do everything we can. But I want you to be prepared. We're looking at months, not years. I'm so sorry. Months. I'm 34 years old, and I'm being measured in months. You want to know what I did after we left the hospital? I called all I wanted to do. All I wanted to do. I wanted to fucking read after my life. I told my manager I'd need to take some time off for treatment, but that I'd stay on email, that I'd dial into the important meetings, that I wouldn't leave them hanging. And there was crying in the passenger seat, and I was on a conference call. That's who I'd become. That's what I'd turned into. A person who gets a death sentence and immediately thinks about Q4 deliverables. It took me 2 weeks to really understand. 2 weeks of Emma crying herself to sleep. 2 weeks of looking at my calendar and seeing all these meetings scheduled for months I won't be alive for. 2 weeks of staring at my bedroom ceiling at 3 a.m. and finally, asking myself the question I should have asked years ago. What was it all for? The promotion I was chasing? Got it. September 15th, they gave me senior director. Corner office, $210,000. They sent a fruit basket to the hospital. A fruit basket. I traded my life for a fruit basket and a title that'll be someone else's by summer. I told myself I was building a future. I told myself sacrifice was noble. I told myself there would be time later for everything else. I told myself I was doing it for Emma, for our future kids, for the life we'd have once I made it. But Emma didn't need me to make senior director. She needed me on Saturday mornings at the farmer's market. Those future kids, they'll never exist now. And making it, I still don't know what that means. I don't think I ever did. You know what I think about now? Tuesday nights. Not the pain, the before pain, when I was still healthy and didn't know it. When Emma would make pasta and we'd watch whatever show she wanted, I always acted like I was humoring her, but secretly I loved just sitting next to her. And she'd fall asleep on my shoulder by episode 3. I took 100 Tuesday nights and turned them into TPS reports. Saturday mornings. The light in our bedroom at 8 a.m. The way Emma looked with her hair messy and her face still creased from the pillow. How she'd stretch and smile and say, "Coffee?" Like it was a question we hadn't already answered 1,000 times. I turned Saturdays into spreadsheets. And Sundays. God, Sundays. We had this ritual. We'd make breakfast together. Scrambled eggs, bacon, toast. Nothing fancy. Well, we'd talk. Really talk. About dreams and fears and stupid stuff and important stuff and everything in between. I started skipping Sunday breakfast in 2023. Had to get ahead of the week. I traded being loved for being busy. Danny came to visit me last week. January 30th. He brought Lily. She made me a card. Construction paper, glitter, glue, the whole thing. It said, "Get well soon, Uncle Josh," with a drawing of a rainbow. She has no idea I'm dying. She just knows I'm sick. Danny and I sat in my home office, the one I spent $8,000 furnishing, the one I barely use now, and he looked around at all my achievements, the framed MBA, the awards, the photo of me shaking hands with the CEO. He said, "You did it, man. You really made something of yourself." And I started laughing, just laughing. Couldn't stop. He looked confused, and I said, "Danny, you have everything. You understand that, right? You have everything. And I have this." I gestured around the room. "I have a nice chair and a degree and some plaques. And I have months." He started crying. My little brother, the one I pitied, he cried for me. And I wanted to tell him, Don't cry for me. Be grateful you're not me. Be grateful you chose Lily over promotions. Be grateful you chose life. Here's what they don't tell you about dying young. It's not the dying that's hardest. It's the clarity. Suddenly, everything comes into focus. All the lies you told yourself evaporate. All the, I'll do it later. Once I achieve X, then I'll be happy. And this is just temporary bullshit disappears. And you're left with the truth. You had one life. One. And you spent it preparing to live instead of actually living. You think you're building towards something. You're not. You're building away from something. Away from fear. Away from uncertainty. Away from the terrifying fact that nothing is guaranteed and every single day is borrowed time. We're all dying. Every single one of us. The only difference between you and me is I know when. And you know what? I'd give anything to have your problem instead of mine. You get to waste time. You get to scroll past this video. You get to hit snooze and say tomorrow and believe it. I don't. So let me tell you what I wish someone had told me. Your body is talking to you. Listen. That pain, that fatigue, that voice saying something's wrong, that's not weakness. That's wisdom. Honor it. I ignored mine because I thought I was invincible. I thought 33 was too young for cancer. Turns out, cancer doesn't check ID. And your life, your real life, is happening right now. Not after the promotion, not after the house is paid off, not after you achieve whatever arbitrary milestone you've convinced yourself matters. Right now. I told myself there would be time. I told myself Emma would understand. I told myself I was building a future. But there is no future. There's only now. And now, Emma and I are planning my funeral instead of our family. Now, I'm writing goodbye letters instead of promotion propose. Now, I'm trying to compress 30 more years of love into 30 more days. Want to know what keeps me up at night? It's not the pain. The morphine handles that. It's the Tuesday nights I'll never get back. It's the Saturday mornings I traded for nothing. It's the moment last March when Emma asked me to see a doctor and I said, 2 more weeks. It's every single time I chose work over her and thought I'd make up for it later. There is no later. There's only the life you're living right now and the life you're telling yourself you'll live someday. Someday is a lie. Emma asked me yesterday what I'd do differently if I could go back. We were lying in bed, February 6th, morning light coming through the curtains, her head on my chest, my fingers in her hair, and I said, everything. I'd do everything differently. I'd say no to the Tokyo trip. I'd say yes to the farmer's market. I'd make every Sunday breakfast. I'd go to the doctor when my body asked me to. I'd choose you every single time over everything else. She cried. I cried. And then she said something that broke me. I just wanted you here, Josh. That's all I ever wanted. You here, present. That's it. Present. The simplest thing in the world. And I couldn't do it. So here's my question for you. One more time. What are you waiting for? What pain are you ignoring? What person are you taking for granted? What life are you postponing? Because I promise you, the things you think matter don't. The promotion won't love you back. The money won't hold your hand when you're scared. The achievement won't show up to your funeral and tell stories about how you made them laugh. People will. Love will. Tuesday nights will. The moments you're trading for success are the ones that make life worth living. I don't have time to waste on subtlety, so I'm going to say this as clearly as I can. If something feels wrong in your body, get it checked. Today. Not Monday. Not after your deadline. Today. If you're sacrificing your life for a job that would replace you in a week, stop. Just stop. If there's someone you love and you keep saying later to them, call them. Right now. Put this down and call them. Because later is not a guarantee. It's a maybe. And I bet my life on maybe. And I lost. It's February 7th, 2026. I'm 34 years old. I have weeks, maybe a month. And all I can think about is Tuesday nights. All those beautiful, boring, irreplaceable Tuesday nights I gave away. Don't be me. Don't wait. Don't trade the life you have for the life you think you're supposed to want. Leave now. Love now. Exist now. Because you think you have time. You don't. None of us do. Tomorrow's Saturday. If I'm strong enough, Emma and I are going to the farmer's market. She'll buy jam we'll never finish. And I'll hold her hand, and it will be perfect.